Hi our partners! Welcome back to our Best Part Education channel with me, Claudia, and my partner here. Yes, and today we are going to introduce you to one of the most challenging skill tests in the IELTS, which is speaking. So, before we go and give you the introductions and also overview, do not forget to subscribe to our channel and also give a thumbs up to this video. And if you have any questions or suggestion, make sure to say something in the comment section below. Alright, so Mr. Ryan, shall we talk about speaking?
Sure, let's go.
Let's see. What is speaking test actually?
Well, speaking test is actually a systematic test in IELTS itself. It is divided into three parts, part 1, part 2, and part 3. And part 1 simply is about talking about yourself. All the topics is mostly general topics. Second one would be you describing something, and don't worry about it because the topic is given by the examiner. And the third part will be discussion section in which you and the examiner will discuss about something.
So basically, unlike in other written tests where you have precise amount of time to do it, like for example, listening 40 minutes, writing 60, and also reading 60 minutes, but for the speaking, you have approximately 11 to 40 minutes, right? Of course, because we're humans, so we're not like robots, so sometimes we talk a little bit too much or too little.
Yes.
And then what else?
Well, the thing is, in speaking, that something that you need to understand is that most people think that speaking is actually easy, particularly for people who wants to just take 4.5 or so. They think that, oh, it's easy, just simply saying yes and no, then they will be fine. But actually, no, it's not the case, right? Some things that you need to understand is that when you have something like this, or we call it as
filling words,
it is something that's really going to affect your score the most.
Okay, so now we are talking about the common mistakes along with the tips and tricks that we're going to give you. So the first challenge that usually the students or participants encounter is that the filling words that you just mentioned.
Yeah, the filling words mostly.
So some people, they usually like talk and then give a pause a little bit too long and use the filling words because they're trying to like get what word should I say next.
Yeah, they just try to rush it over, you know.
Okay.
But actually, in speaking, you don't have to do that. You just have to simply relax.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you have to simply relax. Remember, you have 11 to 14 minutes. Plenty of time to prove that you are a good English speaker. But the thing is, the problem is, most of the candidates, they just think that, they just want to get over it soon. And they don't think about, all those little things in speaking that they need to do. They need to make sure that everything's fine. They don't think about it. And mostly it's because people are not following the preparation class. Mostly because they just simply rush into the test without any preparation.
Or maybe exercise with someone first. So when they sit in the interview, it feels very nerve-wracking and you're very nervous.
Exactly.
So maybe if you need someone to help you, making sure that you are good in the speaking test, you can come by to our Best Part Education institutions, and we're going to give you a little help. Alright, next, common mistake. What else do we have?
I think people are talking too much sometimes. Most of our students, right? They like to speak too much sometimes. Yeah. For example, like this one, we're asking them a simple question, but they answer it in a very different way. And then, let's say from point A to point B, right? And then after that, from point B back to point A. So it's kind of like repeating itself. It's not going to help you guys if you do that. No matter like if you talk like maybe 5 minutes, talking the same thing over and over, it's not going to be good for you.
Okay, so you are not supposed to talk a little bit too much?
Yeah.
But you cannot also say no or yes, just simply like that. You have to give reasons, right?
Exactly. So the thing is, most who hasn't followed any preparation plan itself, they usually answer it with either yes or no, or simply answering it directly.
Yeah.
For example, like I asked you about what is your favorite food? My favorite food is sushi, for example.
And that's it.
And that's
no
it.
reasoning.
No reasoning at all. But what they ask in IELTS is that you have to put reasons. Every single question, usually there is a reasoning section there, and you just have to answer that. That's it.
So either that, or some people or some students usually speak a little bit too much. Like 1 minute or 2 minutes for one single question. So.
Yeah. But don't worry about that. Usually the examiner will stop you if you talk too much.
Right.
But again, the consequence of you talking too much, when somebody stops you in the middle of your talking,
Yeah.
You feel either down or you feel either having a paranoia that you will think that, oh, your speaking is bad, that's why my examiner stopped me. But actually no, it's because you just talk too much. That's all. And then it's because you will take a lot of time in which is going to be useful for the other parts. Remember, you still have part 2 and part 3.
Okay, so you have to make sure that you get the good preparation before you
Exactly.
walk into the room
Yeah.
for the IELTS speaking, of course. And the third one, we have the third one here.
Misconception in which you have to talk like British or
Oh.
Australian or American with their certain types of accent. People think that when the more they talk like British in terms of the accent, they will have a better score. But actually no, it's not about that. It's about how natural you are, not how westernly you are. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's about how well you're using the language itself, how well you compose the sentences, how well you compose the grammar and structure of the everything that you said, and then how connective your answer with the reasons, you know, stuff like that. It's
So it
not,
has to be logical.
Yeah, it has to be logical, coherence as
Yeah.
well. It's not about how well you're using the British accent or
Like Harry
the
Potter.
Harry Potter or maybe like an American accent or like Australian. You know, they don't care about that. They care about how well you use the language.
Yeah, exactly. And it's about the pronunciation, how clear your
Exactly.
pronunciation is, not your accent. So do not worry
Yes.
if you have like Malay or maybe some
Japanese
accent, it's
yeah.
fine. It's totally fine.
Because I know some people that, you know, they're really good in English, but their Japanese accent, it's so deep that every time they speak English, it's like, well, it's English but in Java.
But it's understandable.
But it's understandable, and the
It's
pronunciation is clear. It doesn't matter.
Alright, okay. And we also have several scoring systems. So basically in the IELTS speaking, you do not just speak, there are like a table of scoring system that the examiner actually use. There are 4 aspects.
Yeah,
So first is the fluency and also the coherence.
fluency and coherence.
And then-
Second one would be the vocabulary, or we know lexical resources,
Yeah.
you know. And the third one would be grammar and structure itself. And the last one would be pronunciation. Remember, pronunciation and accent, okay?
Okay. So, well, I guess that's it. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.
Bye-bye.